wanted to talk about something I've been thinking about, and that has to do with fear. I'm not talking about the fear you might be thinking of, you know, you see a giant bear, it's about to rip your face off, and you run for your fucking life. No. I'm talking about the little fears we have every day, the little tiny ones, like when you walk into a room full of strangers and you have to talk to them, or, I don't know, fear of cooking and fucking up, fear of change, trying on new clothes because people will judge you, lights, refrigerators, fear of needles, fear of spiders, commitment, exercise, stage fright. By the way, I want to make sure I'm clear, I am not an expert at any of this stuff. I don't pretend to be, I don't pretend to know more than you. I'm 24, pretty broke, trying to figure out what to do in my life, afraid of a lot of things, but I want to have a discussion. So if you think my ideas are wrong, tell me. If you think they're right, tell me. Let's talk about it, because I think it's better to say the wrong ideas than to not have discussions at all. So I'm gonna do it, because fuck you. To start this off, I think we can all agree that the best thing to do is try to overcome these small fears we're talking about, right? Like if you want to be an entrepreneur, okay, you know what you need to overcome? You need to overcome that fear of judgment, or that fear of being wrong, or that fear of social anxiety. You need to overcome that stuff. Things like, especially things like anxiety, which everyone experiences, and some people experience it more than others. A lot of the time we have anxiety in different areas. Like some people have social anxiety, but other people might have anxiety about work. I have anxiety when I'm not getting anything done, when I'm relaxing. It's not because I'm nervous about someone else, it's because I'm thinking to myself, oh, I should be working. What am I doing? Why am I relaxing? Even if that relaxing is very necessary, which it sometimes is. So we all have our anxieties, right? And sometimes I feel like we don't see eye to eye because we don't understand the opposing person's anxiety. So the same thing with fears, right? There's only one way to overcome any fear, and that's to experience that thing in some capacity. Now there's two ways you could experience that thing. The first way is just to have that thing happen to you, and involuntarily, basically. The second way is to have it happen to you voluntarily. Let's say that you are afraid of public speaking. Your boss tells you, all right, you need to give this presentation today in front of this corporate board. And then you're like, oh fuck, you have to do it. You don't want to do it, it scares the shit out of you, and then you go do it, and you're nervous, you're sweating the whole time, you're still scared of it afterwards, right? It doesn't help too much. But what if you say to your boss, I want to give this presentation because I want to get better at my public speaking skills? You're voluntarily facing that fear, and I think there's a huge difference between those two things. There's a huge difference. This is so weird. I'm not even talking to anyone. It's like usually if I'm talking to someone, I can look at them and I'm like, are you paying attention? Do you care about this? What do you want to talk about? But no, I'm looking at a camera, so I have no fucking idea. Okay. By the way, Seoul, I'm in South Korea, by the way. There's dust particles in the air that come from Chinese factories, and that shit like fucks with your throat. Everybody here has like some kind of cough or like phlegm going on. It's bad. You people, if you're in America, you're lucky. Check the air quality index, the AQI, because yeah, it's hella good in North America. You all breathing some fresh air. Are these people in Asia? Are you still on? Okay. How do we voluntarily confront these fears? Well, first step, just like AA, admit there's a problem. Admit you're afraid of something, because that's actually sometimes the hardest thing to do. Oftentimes, for example, people might say they might be afraid of commitment, but they might say, oh, my girlfriend is not good for me, she's bad for me. Even if it's the fear of commitment that's the problem. Or your friend might say, I just don't like parties. Even if they have social anxiety and that's the real reason. And you know what? Once you start telling other people, there's like some weird psychological thing I think that happens here. Once you start telling other people that your reasoning behind why you don't do something, even if it's the real reason is fear, once you start telling other people it's some other reason that you don't like something, that it's not good for you, whatever, once you start telling people and convincing them of that, you're actually convincing yourself. So I think a lot of people are walking around afraid of something, and a lot of things, but they just don't know it. I do this myself a lot too. And it's a lot harder than you think to figure out what those things are. Now, there's levels to this shit, and you need to figure out on your own what fears are worth confronting and what aren't. Alright, so the first step to confronting the fear is you need to admit you're afraid of it. And then the second one is you need to take the smallest step you can possibly do to voluntarily expose yourself to that fear. It's just one of those things that if you only do it slowly, it's better than doing it not at all. So something that I was thinking about is that negative emotions sometimes could be helpful in confronting these fears, as long as they're self-induced negative emotions. Now, what I mean by this is like, I feel like everybody is all about positivity too much these days. Oh yeah, just support each other and say everything's great, just be kind to yourself and loving, and I know that's important, but I don't think that is motivational enough to confront these fears as some other emotions. And I think you can use negative emotions to confront these fears. If you're afraid of talking to new people, something you could do to encourage yourself in a way to confront that fear is you could bring up a negative emotion. You could say to yourself, oh shit, what happens if I don't ever meet new people? I'm only going to be friends with the people I'm friends with now for the rest of my life, or they're going to leave me because they find new friends. What miserable hell is that going to be like? That would suck. So that's going to want to make you want to confront that fear of social anxiety even more. Okay, you could use the negative emotion. Let's say you have that social anxiety. Your mom thinks that you're kind of a loser, right? And she doesn't think you're gonna make new friends when you go to this new place. Let's say you go off to college and your mom thinks, oh, like he's gonna be in his room all the time, not meeting new people. Well, you could use that negative emotion. You could think to yourself, oh, this is what my mom thinks, but I'm better than that. I can prove her wrong. She's not supporting me or doesn't think I'm good enough to do this, but I'm gonna show her I'm gonna win. My friends think I'm gonna lose. My family thinks I'm gonna lose. Whether it's starting a business, whether it's being an athlete and winning a competition. And I think sometimes focusing on that and focusing on the fact that people don't believe in you and saying, I'm gonna prove them wrong, and it can be a very powerful way for you to confront your fears. But I could be wrong on that. I want to know what you guys think on that. If you're afraid of something, I want to say, even if it's small, even if other people don't understand it, it's valid, and I think pretending you're not is not going to get you anywhere. I don't pretend to know your situation. If you think my ideas will work for you, I'm happy, or if at least I was able to make you think about something happening in your own life, I'll take that. So I'm glad for that too. And if you think I'm wrong, if you think that you have a better perspective that I could gain some knowledge from, then please hit me up, in a comment or message me. Alright, this is my first time doing a video like this. It feels very weird. It kind of feels good to let this out here. So let me know if I should make more of them. Yeah, cheers. And goodbye.